What up, Dama nerds? We're back again with episode 28, and I'm here joined as always with the homie MJ. What up, MJ?
What is up? I am super excited for 28. Oh man, tell them what time it is, and Rod. Tell them what
today
year
it is Sunday, January 12th, the 12th year of Sander. Over here in Vancouver, it's 8:19 a.m. Getting up nice and bright and early to get some nerding in with the buddy MJ because he's over in Japan. What time you got over there, buddy?
Exactly. It's January 13th in the future. It's Monday already. 1:19. Grinding. Last night was a long one. We recorded with Ben, but today, everyone, we have another wonderful guest. There's just so many guests that we can talk with in the Kendama community that, we've been trying to tackle some of them. We have a huge list, so trying to cross that list off little by little, and we were lucky enough to get in contact and a hold of, wait for it, a hold of Kendama USA Pro Haley Bishoff.
Hey, what up? Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Oh yeah,
we are doing good.
We're chilling,
and I'm super excited because most people know, and we've talked about it on the podcast before, like, this is almost a collab that should have happened in another time, in another date, in another dimension, in another world. because Haley was a co-star of Clack Reggio.
Yeah, it was really fun, and unlike you guys, we stopped. We kind of fell off, but yeah, it was fun. It was cool to do the Dama podcast because, you
were one of the first ones.
Yeah, I know Alex Smith had done one episode a long time ago, and then we started to do it, but I think it just kind of fell off because it was so hard to coordinate everybody's schedules. We were in college, we had jobs. It was me and Molly Harney. She was on the Deal With It team. And then one of our friends, Jack, who also played Kendama, he ended up producing it. But it was just really hard to coordinate schedules, and we kind of just got lazy and fell off. But it was super fun, so I'm glad someone's doing it at least.
No, it was good when you were doing it. Yeah, you had a lot of great guests, nice thick long episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
thick episodes.
Yeah. Thick episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. But yeah, super stoked for that. Clack. Since we're on the topic, who was the person that decided, let's get together? Was it Molly?
It was kind of both of us. So we were roommates throughout college, and we actually met through Kendama, because there was an Oregon State Kendama team, a club thing. And then we met through that, and then she needed a place to live. I had a room. She ended up moving in, and we kind of just became best friends. So, nice. She'd always wanted to do something creative, and I had always having some sort of side project on the side of whatever job I'm doing. And so we were just we should do something with Kendama that no one's really started and finished. And so that's kind of why we did it. But then we started and then stopped and didn't finish. So, but it was really fun. And we've kind of talked about maybe doing another one here or there. But, it's just, it can be a lot of work with editing and all that stuff. So, props to you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Over here, Rod is the mastermind for the editing. Takes care of those duties.
Yeah, I don't have the patience. Yeah, I can't do it.
Sometimes I don't either. I got to do a chunk of it and put it down and go fucking smoke a joint or something because I'm just okay.
Right, too much of my own voice, too much MJ's voice.
Yeah, too much of MJ's voice.
I get way too OCD too, and I feel like if it's not perfect or something's weird, I just freak out. I'm just fuck. But I just it wasn't a job for me, so it's okay.
Fair enough. Yeah. It's an interesting thing, wondering how to this, I coughed here. Should I edit that out? Stuff like that. But I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Kind of depends on the feeling of the episode, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I remember our first one. I used the word definitely. Everyone go back to episode 1. I said definitely. I have no idea how many times. It was ridiculous.
Definitely.
Yes. It was so dumb.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
And
the
when I
funny thing
listened
is
back to that, I was like, oh man.
when you do a podcast too and you like actually hear yourself talk, you become aware of like all those little things you say and you're just like, wow, I sound like an idiot like all the time.
Yeah.
But it's a good like self-awareness thing, you know? So
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, the word like is a dangerous one I overuse also.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we're all a little guilty of that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely guilty of that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's good. So you I just recently revisited your pro announcement edit.
Thanks.
Very nice. Very
Good edit.
I like it because it was like so concise, straight to the point, and it gave a lot of good information.
That's good. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Did it take a long time to record?
Kind of.
There's a lot of spots. There's a lot of different locations.
Right. Yeah. So all of it was actually filmed in Salt Lake City because I was living there last fall, or like not 2019 but 2018, and one of my friends actually kind of came through and like was super helpful because that guy, his name's Ben Nilsson, and he does a bunch of climbing videos. He films for like Petzl and like a bunch of climbers. So he has like, awesome equipment. He had a drone and like, was able to get cool shots of climbing too. So I thought it was nice. But yeah, he totally came in clutch and helped me last minute before MKO. So all of that was done probably like 3 weeks ahead of time. Whoa. So really like not much time, but it really did come together. Yeah. And I didn't want to do the whole like standard pro announcement thing where everyone like interviews each other and it's just like a whole thing, those are cool. And like I think maybe Jake Weens was the first one to do that back in the day. And I think it was a really cool concept, but like I don't know, if a video is over like 5-6 minutes, sometimes it's hard for people to actually watch it. And I was like, you can still like, it totally depends on the video, right? But
that's what I was going to say,
yeah. But I was like, we can just do voiceovers so we get all the audio in, over cool shots, and just make it like one concise thing and not like, I don't know. Didn't want to make it too long, but
add a bunch of lens flare. I saw a lot of that.
Yeah. So Ben had never filmed anything Kendama before, and so he kind of went through and he edited it too, and he kind of went through and just looked at other Kendama videos to kind of get the vibe. And you can tell that it's edited very differently than like a regular Kendama edit because it's not usually like one shot of me doing a trick. There's like one clip of me doing an actual trick on a tripod, but the rest of it was like a whole trick with like different angles, like edited together kind of thing. So I would say it's not standard in terms of Kendama edits, but I think he did a really good job and super grateful that he like came in and helped and made it look really professional.
It definitely it looks really, really nice. Yeah, the drones were good, especially like you're saying, you know, you're into climbing, so how is the tripod going to help you? Tripods can only go at, so high. So okay, don't climb all the way up, but we'll make it look like you're really fucking high, but you're really like just, 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
You just gotta anchor that tripod into the wall, bud. Get it coming off the wall.
That just is too complicated. So we're like, screw it, we'll use the drone. But it was super fun to shoot because so the opening scene and then the ending scene were out at the Salt Lake Salt Flats. And that place is unreal. Like you feel like you're on a completely different planet. And a lot of his videos too, he likes to have some sort of storyline, And so we were like, well, that's the painting that the pro mod's based off of. But so he was like,
you didn't paint that there. You said you painted it before.
I painted it before. But we kind of made a story to where it's like, okay, I'm out here with like a blank canvas, so I bought a canvas and like got all the colors and like made it kind of look like, I mean, obviously I didn't paint that out there, one evening, but like we kind of just made it into a story of like, here I am in like this like alternate reality, like cool space. It's like, I don't know, a really unique scene. And then, I don't know, putting yourself where you want kind of thing. So
I mean, it almost looks like a blank canvas, like the place that you were at, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of the point.
Yeah.
And then like the mountains in the background, and then we actually went out there at sunset for golden hour, and so we only had like an hour to shoot all that stuff. At least at the Salt Flats, because we only went out there one time. So it was kind of all planned to like be the scene of the painting, as well as like just somewhere that looks really dope and epic and like unique in terms of so came out good. I was stoked.
There you go. Yeah. Using some movie magic as well. That's good.
Yeah.
There's that one scene where you're like walking with a massive backpack.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
this moshikame. Is there zero stuff? It's just like a bunch of newspaper in the backpack just to make it look puffy.
No, that was all. You mean when I had like the big backpack and I was just doing like simple tricks? We were actually going out to climb and shoot the drone scenes where I was on the wall. So that backpack was like full of climbing gear. And we wanted to make the tricks really easy in that part because he was filming with what's called a Ronin. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. But it's like this big like
type
follow
of,
cam thing.
Samurai that doesn't obey his master anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, but maybe. But he had this like big follow cam and like the shot was kind of hard to get. And I was like, I'm just gonna do something super simple. We're like on our way to climb. Like it's just, you know, none of it was about, the point was never to make like hard tricks. It was just like, we're out here, we're playing kendama, we're having fun. And like, that's it. So,
right.
But yeah, the backpack was full of climbing gear. It had like a rope and a bunch of stuff in it. So I was like, I can't like do a bunch of stuff on kendama too. But yeah.
No knees.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, if you can tell, like in that shot too, it's like a blue backpack, a pink jacket. So I was trying to like color coordinate with Dama. So a lot of it I wanted, like, I kind of pulled a lot of like the colors and themes from like a Wes Anderson style. Like, that's kind of what I was looking for, with what we could do. But yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And
if I'm not mistaken, you were the first girl to ever get a pro mod, right?
So I know that Deal With It has made some mods, but I don't know if they're necessarily like pro mod.
You're talking about like Kozarov and like
exactly,
and Masako, right? But I think those are considered artist mods more so.
Yeah. So then I guess technically,
Gijon.
I think so. In terms of like
those were
big companies,
those were before yours, weren't they?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, but what's like a mod, like a signature mod versus a professional signature mod?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I even think about the word professional and like, where is the line drawn when some people can say like, oh, I'm on a team, I'm a kendama professional, but it's like, oh, actually, technically, in the kendama world, no, dude, you're just on the flow team, but you can tell the people that you're a professional.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's no real definition because like people are pro for different reasons, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You look at like the cool thing kind of too about like my pro mod announcement coming out is like Dylan Westmoreland's was coming out the same night, and like we all know Dylan, he's just like a fucking madman at kendama, right? Yeah, and it's like he's pro because he, you know, is good at spreading kendama and all that stuff, but he's just like insanely good at kendama. Like his tricks are like, I will never be that good, and I'm okay with that. Like it's chill. But you know, for like me, it's more like I do community stuff, so it's like there's no real definition of what pro means. It's just like, can you promote kendama and like be a good like face for a company that helps spread this thing that we all love, you know? I don't think there is any like requirement of skill or whatever. Yeah. Right.
That's something I think a lot of people forget that side of it. Yeah, that's Kozarov.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you want unique people like that to rep your companies, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Someone that can like get out there and other people can relate to and stuff, and you're like, oh, this is sick. Like, look at this person plays Dama. I want to play Dama too. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So Haley, I did a shotgun interview with you. When was that? 2000? Was that 16? 17?
Something
when you came
like
to
that.
Tokyo
Yeah.
For the all girls event. That was good. And at that time, it was, you know, really short, quick questions. Now we have you for a while.
Sure.
Let's go deep into this question that I think is burning question that everybody has. People like post on Instagram to companies. God,
what is it?
Or they they're like messaging other professionals like, how do I get sponsored? How the fuck do I get sponsored? So I just want to open that box for everyone because I think each sponsored player has a different story of how they got sponsored.
Yeah.
So it's nothing secrets. What's the story behind Haley Bishoff getting on Kendama USA?
Sure. So, okay, I got back on in 2013. So I started playing kendama in 2010, and I kind of just did it for fun, right? Like, just like, oh, ball in the cup, we're all in high school, like, this is cool, whatever. And then I started, when I went to college, I found some friends who played yo-yo. And all of us kind of, like, hung out because we were just, like, the weird kids in college who played skill toys, right? And so we started making videos in one of their basements, and we called it basement sessions. And so we brought down all these floodlights, and it was like me and then like 3 other guys who played yo-yo. And so we made this series called Basement Sessions, and Jake Weens actually saw those videos, and so he was kind of like, oh, who's this girl who plays Kendama, right? Because there really wasn't many at the time. Yeah. And I knew Turner from Bend, because that's where I grew up. So we had kind of like exchanged a little bit because we had mutual friends. But ultimately, I got on the team because I think Jake found those videos, and then I knew Turner. And then when everybody came through Eugene and Portland for the Roots Tour in 2013, I met everybody. And then like 2 weeks after, they sent me a package, and Jake was like, do you want to be on tribute? So I think I got on because I like not only knew people, but because also there wasn't many girls at the time that played. Mm-hmm. And not to say that like, oh, if you're a girl, it's easier to get sponsored or become pro or whatever, but like, it's good to have like a well-rounded team, right?
Yeah, diversity.
So yeah. And like, you know, there was somebody who like needed to fill that role. And so I think I kind of like lucked out in the sense that it was right timing, like right place kind of thing to like meet everybody. And also just like with Kendama USA, you know, I mean now too, but especially back then it was very like personality based, and whatever team you're on, it's like you really have to vibe with the people that you're on the team with, because you're going to be traveling with these people. You like communicate with these people a lot, you know, so in terms of being sponsored, it's like, are you a good match for the team? I think like sometimes too, kids will ask or like seek it out too much, like, will you sponsor me, will you sponsor me? And when you sound thirsty for a sponsorship, like you won't get it. So, you know, I guess to answer the question,
die of hydration, bitch.
Exactly. Go run a marathon in Tokyo. So I think like, you know, if you're looking to be sponsored and you're like a younger player, like the best thing you can do is like rep the company that you want to be a part of. And like, just be, you know, ask yourself, like, if I were a company, would I want to sponsor me? Like, what am I doing to like benefit them and like be a good addition to their team kind of thing? So, you know, it is right time, right place. And it's maybe harder to get sponsored now because a lot of the big teams are full, for the most part, right? Like, there are new players, but
there's been a whole decade of harvesting the community for teammates, right? So
yeah, it's totally oversaturated now, but so I think I got lucky, but no, not at all.
Right.
Absolutely not yet.
Yeah, like Kendama USA is always looking for tribe members, but you know, there comes a point too where it's like there can't be too many on a team, you know?
Yeah, if you got 50 people on the tribe team, it's like, you know, a new Kendama comes out and all of a sudden you got to make a whole second batch of it just to give one to the fucking team.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Sweets a few years ago with the Focus team. I was like, wait, how many people
is
the
Focus team,
entire
the
roster now?
Team, the pro team. Which team?
How do you even manage that? Yeah, that's just insane. Right. But I don't know. Hopefully that answers your question.
Was it a quick yes when they asked you to be on the team?
So funny story, actually. So within 24 hours, okay, I'll give a little more background. So went to Roots Tour, met everybody, really bonded with Keith actually. And we made this bet at Roots Tour because I was learning like lunars and lunar flips. And he was trying to teach me spacewalk to lunar. And he was like, oh, okay, how long have you been playing? And I told him like, you know, off and on for like 2-3 years. And he was like, okay, you're on the same lunar schedule as me. So in 4 years, if you're able to land a quad lunar flip, I'll give you my wine Mugen.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
So we made this bet.
I won't give you the emerald one, but I'll give you the one.
And I was like, that's fair. You know, it's a Mugen's a Mugen. I'll take it, right? I'm not going to complain about which colorway. But so Keith and I kind of bonded, and he was the one who was like maybe like pushing for me a little more on Kusa too. But on that Roots tour, there was Krom was there too, so Philip and Torkild.
Yep.
And actually, they wrote me and asked me to be on the Krom team. And so within 24 hours, it was like Krom and Kusa had both like said something to me.
But not the Krom Deluxe team, right? The Krom team, not the Krom Deluxe team.
I don't think it was Deluxe. I think it was like the Krom team.
I'm joking because the Krom Deluxe team was like Philip's wife and like
the
girls that are like around the Krom thing. And
no, they didn't mention that.
On bikes and like
I thought that was going to be better received. I'm sorry.
No, actually, now that I remember that, I remember videos from like 7-8 years ago
Yeah.
of the Crom
Yeah.
Deluxe team. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh my god. No, I don't think it was that. Hopefully not. But maybe it was, I don't know. But Jake and I had like briefly talked about something because he's like, I want to do something with you, but I don't know what yet. And this was like prior. So I called Jake and I was like, hey, I got this offer from Crom, but you had mentioned something to me. I don't want to step on any toes, but like, what are you thinking? Because like, you know,
Yeah.
what is it? Because if not, I'll probably take this offer. And then he was like, let me call you back. And then he like calls Jeremy or like calls a team or something and calls me back. And he's
Ooh.
like, we want to put you on tribute. And I was like, done. Like the dream team to be on back then was being on Kendama USA, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was like a no-brainer for me. Like nothing against the Crom team because that would have like not been a bad option at all. But I had always just wanted to be on Kusa. And so it kind of worked out. But
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like
What,
Kusa's
type
more
of-
of a Haley vibe, I feel like.
I think so too, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, because a lot of the
What-
Kusa team too is like action sports, slacklining,
Mhm.
skating, snowboarding, skiing, like whatever.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Especially like back, like you were saying, when Kendama was really picking up and there was a nice solid, you know, amount of maybe like 5 to 6 people on the different teams of the different
Mhm.
companies. Like the personalities were a big thing.
For sure.
And
yeah.
it like, it created that vibe of this company is like this, that company's got this kind of vibe. And
hmm
Totally.
and like it makes it, because I look at now a lot of the sponsored people and like, not to talk shit, but like sometimes some of them are a little forgettable.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're
Like,
really
you
good
know,
at Kendama,
maybe because
right?
yeah, of course, yeah, they're
Totally,
good.
yeah, yeah.
But it's like maybe because there's a lot,
hmm
and back in the day, right, it was just like, here's the roster and like that's this company.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
Yeah.
like I would think about the people on the team before the products almost, you know?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure. And I think
Yeah.
too, like back then, that's kind of how it had to be because it's like Kendama was growing and we had to like sell it some way. So it's like if you're a good face for a company, then that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure. I think like now a lot of companies also look for players that are going to be really good at comps or just like winning comps. You know, not to say that
Mm.
they're like shitty people because they're all cool, but like you know, like it's less personality based though. I think for sure. You know,
yeah.
and more like
Yeah,
what do you bring into
everybody
the
wants
table?
that. Everybody wants to have that cup under their
Mhm.
their name or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that kind
And
of makes sense.
I think like with Kendama USA back in the day too, though, it's like not that none of us were like didn't care about comps, but none of us were like, you never looked at Kendama USA and they're like, oh, they're gonna win a comp, you know, like for the first
Mm.
World Cup or anything, right? Like other than
Yeah.
maybe like Keith or like,
Yeah,
you know.
Keith. I was gonna say Keith was definitely in there for that because, like,
Yeah.
I remember going to Dama Fest and when he won Dama Fest,
hmm
and that was crazy.
yeah,
But yeah, you're right though. There was more like less of a like coming to win the comp vibe and more of a
Mhm.
like coming to like just be dope vibe kind
and
of
like
thing.
shoot a fun video or
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
just like
that
make
that
face.
was the thing. Actually, was we're gonna come and we're gonna shoot a video because there's all the Jake Ween style shit where he was
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like, guys, we're gonna get up at 9. We're gonna go film
Yeah.
until this time. We're gonna go like
Yeah.
that
yeah,
Ween's
and that was
energy.
so fun. Yeah, it's different now for sure. And like, you know, as we added the tribe team, like we have a stacked team now, I think. You know, we have like Dylan and like all the young kids who, well, I guess he's on pro, but you know, all of those like
Mm.
generation of players. It's like
Totally.
now Kendama USA can win comps. Like it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kendama USA has the world champion right now.
For sure.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Wyatt too back
Yeah.
in the day. Like, yeah, our
Exactly.
team is
Yeah.
like, yeah, all the younger
And, yeah.
kids coming in clutch.
And like Wyatt won the European Freestyle Championships.
hmm
So like there's
Ooh,
another one.
That's
like,
true. That's true.
Yeah, and like Logan just won Battle at the Border
Yeah.
freestyle, and like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
See? Yeah, Kusa's around.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah. But like back in the day, it was just like a different vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Not to say none of us are bad, but like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. As well as like there weren't as many competitions then.
That's
for
What
true
did
sure,
too.
you
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
So everyone's just like, hey, let's hang out. And like, oh, there's a competition. It's a time to get together with all the other teams and shoot a
Mhm.
vid and just have a good time.
Hells
Yeah, exactly.
As well as like, you know, like hang out with the people on your team.
Mhm.
Because it seems like everyone, you know, you're all in this kind of the same area. Like for Kendama USA, you're all kind of west-ish
Mhm.
coast.
Yeah, except for
Right?
like, I guess Zach and Colin are from Pittsburgh, but they've kind of bounced around, you know, Collins in LA, and yeah, so for the most part, like everyone's kind of West Coast based. Yeah, or was at least back in the day. But
oh man, funny little side note, I just saw Colin posted an edit with the Crom Kendamas, the black and white.
Dude, yeah, the black and white.
I didn't watch it yet.
We're talking about the Crom Kendama USA thing. How funny is that?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it either, but I like how it made me reminisce of the old black and white edit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's got to be like a connection. Like that's why they got him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I need to watch it.
And it was funny too, like just because on Instagram, like before it went out, they had like a little like teaser go out, and it was like POV from the beginning, and I was like, that motion. Like that's the way the movements are happening. I'm like, what's that? Why that's not a crawl. What? Who's that? I'm like Torquil, but no.
Hey, why is there a Crom doing old school tricks? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
So that was awesome.
Man. And I guess since we're talking about competitions and stuff as well, Haley, you have been on board with like organizing and stuff for all of the all girls events, right?
Yeah.
Since the beginning, am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess if we want to go way back, back in I think it was 2013 or 2000. Yeah, it was 2013. Crom did the first all girls video competition, and so that was like the online thing that kind of Yuka and I have taken over the years, which we actually need to coordinate like really soon. Now that I'm thinking of it, but. So I entered that one, and then I remember Yumi won first, and then Kristen got second, and I got third. And back when they did that, it was really cool because that was the first ever, like, thing that was just, like, focused on, like, okay, who are the girl players in the scene, right?
Yeah.
And then all these, like, random girls uploaded edits, and it's like, oh, cool, there's actually, like, a community of girls that play Dama. And after that, I think that was maybe the only year that they did it, but Yuka and I kind of like took over that role and then started doing an online girls edit competition every year. We've done one every year since. And then we started doing the AGKO, so the All Girls Kendama Open. And I host the one in the US, she hosts the one in Tokyo, and then one year we did one in Taiwan as well, and Jijon helped a lot with that. So, Yuka and I have kind of collaborated on those throughout the years, and she always holds it down in Japan, and I always hold it down in the US. And I mean, every year it's gotten bigger and bigger, so it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's super
good. Yeah.
What's the most difficult thing about putting that together? Because most of the time, if you think about competitions, maybe not most of the time, there's a lot of groups that are kind of small solo doing it by themselves. I was just gonna ask, well, what's a difficult thing about it?
If anything, I would say we've had good attendance, but probably attendance, because if the main group that's competing is women, right? It's like, first of all, that narrows down to a very small percentage of like the actual community that plays. Yeah. So if you're not doing it in an area that a lot of girls can come out to, then like your event's going to be small, right? Yeah. Or like if it's on a weekend where it happens to be where multiple girls can't come out, like your event is going to be really small. So I think that's the hardest thing in terms of planning. Like, it's such a, I don't want to say it's like a small event because it's like been an ongoing thing for a few years, but it's not like an MKO or it's not like a, it's not a big event. And so in terms of coordinating things, all we have to do is like get a venue, get sponsors, get prizes, make flyers, get like, random stuff and just make it happen. Like there's not too much planning that goes into it, I would say. Because there's nothing like, there's no big cash prize or, so it's pretty simple in terms of that. But I would say the hardest thing is just making sure there's enough girls that are going to be filling like beginner, intermediate, open, and making sure that like there is at least one person that could win each one of those places, right? So like this year, for instance, we did it in Las Vegas, and the girls that did open also did intermediate because nobody was there for beginner. So we had like an intermediate division and an open division, but nobody was in beginner because there was no beginner girls. So all the open girls did beginner with their left hand or something like that. Like it was just like, so we made it work. Yeah. Yeah. But it's really hit or miss with attendance for girls because anyone's welcome at the event. And so usually more guys end up showing up than girls anyway, just to like be there and jam.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part. But this year in Vegas, we did turn it into a 7 to Spike challenge too, for like a celebration of life for Dave, because it was at a dance studio that he used to go to and like in Vegas, and like, the timing was just right. We turned it into a fundraiser for his family. And so I think we had a lot more people come out because the 7 to Spike was open for anybody. So yeah, we kind of switched up this year. Yeah, which was good. Yeah.
Is there any thoughts of throwing in different types of contests within that event, like a freestyle or just like a weird, I don't know, marathon? Not marathon. Like a relay kind of.
Relay race.
Yeah.
Full marathon. Get training, boys. No. I would
the
say
the girls got to get training. We don't got train.
Girl. Yeah. True. You guys can judge. I would say, maybe after this year, because opening up the 7 to Spike for anybody, like, I think it brought a lot more people in. And so I think so, but there's like a fine balance there too, where it's like, this is kind of like the one event a year where it's like for the girls, right?
Yeah.
And not to say that like, it's not meant to be exclusive ever. It's just like, okay, girls come together and let's have a really mellow, fun contest where there's no pressure,
Totally.
Okay.
So I would say if anything, like adding something on the side could be good, but like keeping the like beginner intermediate open, like as it is for the girls to compete against each other. And then maybe just continuing on and starting a new tradition of 7 to Spike. I don't know. Could be cool.
Okay.
That could be
right,
cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So on that note, I've had this conversation with some people before about, so there's the girls competition, like you said, it's not meant to be exclusive. Like it's definitely inclusive for everyone to be there and stuff.
For sure.
So I've talked to some people who think that maybe the girls event is a little bit like exclusive in a way, where like they thought that it should be just a part of like the bigger events, and that there shouldn't be a separate thing, because it's almost like pushing the segregation more so than the togetherness, if that makes any sense.
Kind of. So like, I guess for example, like NAKO, right? Or MKO has a girls division. Okay. So the idea behind that, and I actually told Sweets that might be like something they should think about doing back in the day. We kind of like collaborated on the idea. They had the idea and we kind of talked about it. But I think the thing with that is it can totally be perceived as something that's exclusive. And that's not the point. It's not to like divide it further, right? The girls competition is fully optional. But I think when I've talked to some girls in the past years at MKO, they were like, I was like, oh, are you competing? And they said no. And I said, why? And they're like, oh, I don't want to go like up on stage and like lose against Bonds or whatever, right? And I'm like, that sucks. That sucks that like you have this like fear.
It's okay.
Of, like,
everyone's gonna lose against Bonds.
True. Yeah. Or like any random like kid, right? Who's just like insanely good at Dama. But and I think the point of having the girls comp is for like a girl who's maybe never competed or like doesn't feel as confident or comfortable on stage to like have the option or opportunity to compete, and then like, regardless of, winning first, second, or third, or placing or whatever, it's like, cool, they went up on stage and they competed for the first time. Now they have the confidence to go do that again. So it's more so like getting girls to feel like they can start competing to like integrate into like the comps later too, I guess. More for like maybe the younger ones. But I don't know. Personally, it's hard for me to say that like the all girls event is like an exclusive thing, because it just like, in my mind, it just isn't. It's just a different comp.
Totally.
You know? It's just a different theme
I
comp.
think of it the same way. I see what you mean, But that's cool. I thought it'd be cool to get your 2 cents on that, because I've had I've had the conversation with a couple people, and I'm always kind of like, well, like, I think it's just cool that everybody's together. I don't give a shit if it's a girls comp or like if it's a big comp. I just want to hang out with the squad, whether it's the guys, the girls, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
for
for
sure.
me, that's what it's always been about. But some people get a little bit weird about it, because, like you said, maybe they're a little uncomfortable and stuff like that. So that is a good like kind of segue into like the bigger kind of stage, I guess, right?
For sure. And it's like, at the first MKO where they did the girls comp, it's like, okay, 9 girls, right? First, second, third for beginner, intermediate, open, walked away with a prize, and maybe they've never won anything in their life. Because like, if you look at the statistics too of like, let's say you go to enter open division at NAKO, MKO, I don't know, never know what to call it. I guess NAKO now. But MKO is just like, I don't know. It's easier for me to say. But So like if you're looking at like the statistics of like girls versus guys, right? The numbers are just off. Like it's just so many dudes.
Totally.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's not a bad thing at all. But like it's going to be harder for like a girl to get all the way to the first. It's less likely to ever see a girl on the podium because the numbers are just so drastically different, right?
Unless you're from like Itami Dojo.
I was gonna make a joke about that,
Right.
But like it's changing now too, right? Because it's like all the Japanese girls are just like crushing, you know?
And they're coming over to the States.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Watch out. I think it's because I kind of thought about that too. I mean, like if it should be separate, if it shouldn't, like what's the specific point? And Haley, like you said, you heard from like firsthand from some girls saying that they were uncomfortable. So that's a great way for them to then feel comfortable then to take the next step.
Yeah.
So that understanding way of looking at it is awesome. So like you said, that's what you're kind of focused on, chill, relaxed, but a competition to kind of push you a little bit.
Yeah, to like get you motivated to have them do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
To be comfortable to go and compete at maybe at a bigger scale and against the guys. But yeah, like in Japan, I see so many girls that just destroy.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, this is like, it's not a muscular sport. Like it's totally like anyone can do it. So there doesn't need to be girls, guys kind of thing.
No, there definitely doesn't need to be. But I think it's like, it's a cool option to have if somebody wants that option. That's it.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're right. Like it's not like a physical sport, you know, like
right.
Yeah, so that's not the difference. It's just more of like hey, the option's there if you want it. The all girls event is like for you. It's for anybody. Like to come hang. We do mini games with everybody. Like there's raffles for anybody. Like everyone's included. But like you're there to just like cheer on the girls that are like going head to head. You know, that's it.
Yeah.
It's a lot more relaxed than people might think. you know, right. It's not like a girls only. Like it's not like that.
Yeah.
So you came to the one in Tokyo that one time. How does it feel? What was the atmosphere like between the U.S. scene and the Japanese scene?
Okay.
I feel like there'd be a little more stress and seriousness.
Yes.
With the girls in Japan.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I would say it's different on two different levels. One being that the first 2 years we hosted the event in a parking lot in Portland. So it was like very low budget, very chill, just like in a parking lot with a megaphone kind of thing. And then in Japan, it was like, we have this nice venue and there's a cover charge and there's an open bar. And I was like, okay, I'm like doing something wrong. But, so there was like,
you're grassroots in it.
Yeah, no, we're like, grassroots. That's right. But I would say on like that scale, it was very different. Like ours was just way more laid back. And then, not to say that like the Tokyo event wasn't fun because it was like really successful. Yuka did an amazing job setting it up, but the competition was definitely more serious, I think. And also just like the skill level in Japan is like unreal. Like, none of us stand a chance, you know? So I don't know. I think the competition was more serious, but at the end of the day too, it's like, we're all there to have fun and we're all friends. It's always friendly competition, you know? But it was a different vibe for sure.
I think something that I've noticed that maybe applies to the guys as well, now that I think about it, is that in Japan, the like age group is kind of a lot lower than in like North America, you know what I mean? Like if you look at like North American comps versus Japanese comps, like in Japan there's a lot of young kids who are placing really high and doing really well, if not winning. Whereas in like North America, like I can't even think of like more than like 1 or 2 kids that are like 10 that compete,
right.
Never mind, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that, where it's like more of an adult kind of style thing and then more of like a kid style thing.
For sure. No, I think it's the same for girls and guys, really. In Japan, the age group is just, the demographic is just younger kids, you know? But,
little bastards. They gotta chill the fuck out. Making us look bad, man. Little fuckers.
Dude, I've gotten to a point where I just am like, it's the way it is. Like, I'll never be that good, and I'm okay with that.
You just gotta come up with some weird shit that they'll never think of, and just be like, try that, you little fucker.
Yeah. The only way that I can like ever get people is like an arm bounce trick or like something just stupid.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. You just got to get the weird shit in there. It's like, oh yeah, so you got your 1, 2, 3 lunars on lock, eh? Well, how about this one?
Dude, you know what always gets them is like a spacewalk to lunar, like the most classic tricks.
Yeah.
Like they can't do them. They can do all these juggles and taps, and I can't. But that's fine. But like they can't do like spacewalk to lunar.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
gotta hit them with the classics.
That's right. Gotta keep
Yeah,
it old
yeah,
school.
Yeah. Sound like we're just out to like crush little kids.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
What do you mean sound like? We are, Haley. These kids are going down.
Yeah. Right?
I'm just kidding,
Take
guys.
those-
I love you, little guys.
Those old tutorials down with like how to learn those basic tricks. Super flamingo.
Yeah,
Remember
right.
Yeah.
that, guys?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I remember like
good.
talking about that. I remember going to like events and have all these little kids and stuff, and like let's play Dama, let's play Ken or whatever. And like that was always the thing where like these kids are so good, you have to find some weird little trick to just. It's like, listen, kid, like you can't beat me.
Yeah.
I'm the pro that came to the event
Yeah.
that you paid to come to. Like you can't beat me in a game of Ken. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know. So you
No,
got to get
for
the
real.
weird shit out. Got to go deep in the bag of tricks.
Yeah.
Deep.
It's funny.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
So,
you-
Haley, I know. Oh, you
No, go,
you got one?
Please.
I was gonna
please.
say that your presence posting and putting up edits and stuff, I would assume I kind of feel like has slowed down a little bit. Like you said, school, work, everything, real life comes into play with a lot of Dama players. I think that started off like back in 2013, 2014 age range where everyone's trying to find careers and stuff. So some people slowed down. How do you feel? Are you still playing every day?
I play most days. I would say that so while I was in college is when I first got on Kendama USA. So I was like full-time student, part-time working, like dipping out on the weekends to go to events. I was traveling a lot. So like that was a hard balance. But at that point it was like, I'm not gonna not go do these things just because I have like school and work. That's stupid, So
yeah.
Gonna enjoy it.
yeah, exactly. So I think like back then there was like a lot of content too because we also had like Jake, who was our filmer, right? I don't film and edit. I'm just bad at that. And so it's hard when I don't have somebody that I'm like working with or like collaborating with to like make an edit. So that's why you don't really see like edits. I've tried to make some and they just like don't turn out good. But that's fine.
Will we ever see
but-
those?
Hopefully, yeah, I think so. Maybe
Right.
eventually. But yeah, I mean, I think I still play all the time. There's a pretty good scene here in Vegas. I'm only working part-time, so like I try to go film tricks and stuff on my off days. But ultimately, like I think it's good to go through phases where you like have a lot and then like maybe take a little bit of a break. Like when I was in Mexico over the last couple months, like we filmed and played Kendama all the time, so I had a lot of content. But as soon as I came back, I started working and like getting back into my routine of things. And so there's a little bit less time. But ultimately, like I play Kendama all the time. Mostly I think that instead of like making a bunch of content, it may seem like I don't do much sometimes, but I'm like out climbing and I have a Kendama with me every time. Or like I'm teaching somebody who's like out rock climbing with me, like how to play Kendama, so like just because there's not like proof of it sometimes for people doesn't mean that they're not actually out there doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's like a love-hate relationship with filming. Like there's days where I'm like, I'm gonna go film a trick, but most days I'm like, I don't want to fucking film a trick because it's stressful and I get frustrated and like 30 minutes in I'm just like, no, like it's not fun, But then there's some days where you're really motivated. So I don't try to force myself to do something that's like gonna make me unhappy.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to go
Yeah.
about it.
For sure. Cause like, I mean, Kendama should be fun, right? It's freaking ball in a
100%.
cup. But, like it shouldn't be a stressful thing. So
Absolutely
it
not.
goes in waves for sure in terms of like making content. But ultimately I play on a regular basis. Yeah.
Hells yeah. That's what's up.
What about you guys?
Oh, I mean, I play most days as well.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing as much recently as I usually do, just because I've been hanging out with the Mabel dog over here, taking the dog to the park and stuff, and she has her own ball that she gets upset if I play with mine. So, gotta
it's a
deal with
jealousy
that.
thing. Yeah.
But yeah, on the regular, I mean, we have like jam night on Tuesdays I go to, and then like I'm also like one of those ones that I don't really like filming all that much and stuff. I do, but like I have to be like motivated. I like to be like with the homies doing it and stuff like. And I've made a lot of edits on my own before, and I do enjoy that. But I just recently I'm not as motivated to do it for whatever reason. I just want to go hang out with the homies and like just like share that energy to get my like stoke up. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it's been like for me recently, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that is definitely like the. It feels like the easier ones when you're with friends,
for sure.
Recording and stuff.
Totally, yeah.
Filming alone is like
against you.
Yeah,
which maybe is like more satisfying personally, like leveling up. But to go back to Kendama, just hanging out with your friends, fucking shitting around and just like having a good time.
Yeah,
like that was like one of my favorites. Is me and my buddies in Kawagoe. We did like a 1-day edit. It was fucking crazy. Like we went out in the morning, went out, just riding around, looking for spots, filmed some tricks, and then I forgot when we finished. Like kind of like mid-afternoon. I got home and I was just so fucking amped about it, and I just put it in my computer and I edited it that night.
Yeah,
and I got it out. Like so, it was a true like 1-day edit. It was fucking awesome. I challenge everyone to do that. Try to fucking just get your buddies together. Don't worry about what kind of tricks you're gonna get. Just whatever flows out of the imagination. Yeah. Have a good time.
Hell yeah.
And you don't have to edit it in that 1 day because
there's no way.
My first edit I ever made was like that. I call it the Sunday edit because I just got a camera on a Sunday and filmed a bunch of tricks. I'm wearing the same T-shirt the whole fucking time.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think I edited it the same day. That was the first time I ever like did editing and shit. So there's no way it was quick.
Dude, when I try to edit something, it just takes me forever, and like my computer's kind of old, so it's slow, and I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it.
Here's a little fucking funny thing, man. You want to see a bad edit? Go watch my first edit because when I did it, I fucking made the edit and then I had to like change the format of it to actually upload it or some shit. And when I did that, I got a bunch of like scaling in the video, so there's all these like lines and everything looks all crazy blurry. But I couldn't fix it, so I just fucking uploaded it as is. So, like, you can't really see a lot of my tricks and shit. Like, there's a part where I'm using this, like, bolero thing with, like, a sombrero top and a stick.
Oh, my God.
Like, from Mexico that my friend gave me. And I did a couple tricks with that, and you can't even fucking tell what's happening because it's just a blur of a blue thing. And then I just, all of a sudden, I'm like, I got it. You know? It's
like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
it's
so
pretty many
funny.
bitches just tell them, it's art. I'm not artistic.
It's art, Mom. You wouldn't understand.
That edit actually, like, because I call it the Sunday edit, like every other edit I made after that was like the Monday edit, the Tuesday edit, Thursday, all the way.
Nice.
I made Friday. I haven't made a Saturday edit yet. I'm still saving that one.
Hey, there's still time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nothing but time, baby.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And so Haley, do you? I think a lot of people posting or not posting, they're a little concerned with Instagram since everyone's posting there. Are you the type that doesn't care about what kind of how technically difficult, if it's a quote unquote banger or not?
Honestly, I really don't care. Like, I don't know. The way that I look at it is like, if you go out and you spend time filming a trick, post that shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, you know?
Or save it and put it in a fucking edit.
Or save it, put it in an edit. True.
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, I definitely wouldn't say that, like, my tricks are the hardest tricks, for sure. But, like, okay, I have arm bounce to stilts on lock. Like, that's cool to me.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, that to me is a
can say
banger,
that.
you know? Like, I think, like, I don't know. You know, if you spend time filming a trick, post it. Doesn't matter.
Those can be hard tricks. I remember I did a arm bounce. Come on, I did a double arm bounce once for a terra comp, and that took me such a long time that like I had a good bruise like right on my arm.
Yeah, dude,
on this
it'll
one
happen.
spot.
Yeah, it's not good.
So
but like,
everyone
ask
out
me
there,
to...
if you grind that, it's a tough one.
Ask me to do juggle to spike, probably couldn't hit it in 10 tries. Like, you know, I don't know. I think like Instagram people take way too seriously. Like, they worry too much about stats. And, you know, I check how many followers I have. I check how many likes it gets. But, like, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter. And it never will.
Not at all.
Like, I don't know. It's Instagram, you know?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only thing that matters is, like, the good shit that people get out of it.
Sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, meeting other people or
posting.
whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
That
I
is
remember,
kind of
like,
what's cool about it.
For sure. I think, like, I don't know, Jake used to tell me, I'd be like, oh, my trick's not good enough to post. And he's like, people just want to see Haley playing Kendama. Doesn't matter what it is.
Mm.
And ever since then, I was like, okay, cool. Maybe that's like, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'll like sell myself short and post something that's like not as hard of a trick. But at the end of the day, it's like, here's my trick. Here's what I did. Like it or not, I don't care. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like you and Jake, like now that you mentioned Jake, are good examples of people who like maybe aren't like at the forefront of doing like the most crazy tricks, you know, like the tap juggle fucking whatever the fuck down fast bullshit. That, I mean, me neither.
What's considered crazy now,
But you guys are two of like some of my favorite people to watch play Kendama, just because you guys have like this, you have your own steez, you have your shit on lock, and like you just do your tricks, and like you make it look like you're having fun when you do it, which I'm assuming you are. It's not. It's a very genuine feeling, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's something that, again, like we're talking about like with sponsorship shit, where people like kind of forget about like, you know, like being a face and being like someone who's like giving a vibe for the company more so than just doing bangers. It's kind of the same thing with this, where like you're giving your vibe, you're like showing off like yourself having fun and like what this toy can give you, rather than like what, you know, like this crazy trick kind of thing.
Absolutely. And yeah.
I feel like that kind of goes underappreciated sometimes.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, I think too, like with a lot of, you know, kids that are really, really good at Kendama, not to say that they don't have other hobbies, but like, you know, if you focus all of your energy on one thing, you're going to be really good at it. You're going to be able to do all the crazy, like juggle, tap, whatever the fuck tricks they are, you know, but it's like, you know, I'm not somebody who can do one thing always. That's why it's like, I choose not to work 5 days a week, 9 to 5. I can't do that every day. Right. So it's like,
I feel you.
You know, I have to have other things. Like I have to climb, I have to draw, I have to play Kendama, I have to like do multiple things. And I'd rather be like mediocre to good at like multiple things than like an expert at one thing, you know? Yeah. So that's why for me, it's like always looking to progress in Kendama, of course, but like, I really don't care if I have the hardest tricks, because I won't. That's just the way it is, you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But and it's also subjective too, depending on the person's skill set and whatnot.
There's also that.
You're same. When you see something new, which isn't new maybe, because everyone's just trying to they think what's difficult to do, and I want to do difficult things because difficult means I could possibly get a spot somewhere. And so that means like taps and juggles and multiple flips and stuff. Yeah. So you're going through the feed, follow hashtag Kendama, like that's what you see. And then you see something refreshing, which is like, Haley, your tricks. Or like, when you see Jake's stuff, it's like, oh, that's cool.
Or somebody like Adrian Esteban, right? It's like somebody who just has like fully like something fully new and creative. And it's like, if I were a company and I were looking for somebody, like I would rather sponsor somebody who brings something new to the table than like somebody whose trick looks exactly like everybody else's trick when you scroll through your feed. Right. You know?
It's like, you're really consistent at 16 tap. Okay, sweet.
Like that's impressive because I can't do that shit, but like, you know, it's kind of the same thing over and over again a lot of the time.
Yeah. It does get repetitive for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Kendama is one of those things where it's got a whole whack of different little tentacles that you can explore. So like why get stuck in the one?
Totally.
Right? Yeah, that's why GT, picked up Aventus.
It's
like I'm like, wait, everyone was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, like that's okay.
That's a thing.
All right.
Yeah.
And then it's like he keeps on doing it, different variations.
Yeah.
I was there when they told him he could be on the team, and Weens got him really good. It was funny.
Oh,
He's like, okay, we're going to take a picture, Aventus, of the
hilarious,
GT team only. And he goes, oh, okay. And he walks over there, and Jake goes, what are you doing? Like, get in the picture. And he was like, no, but you... GT team only. He's like, yeah, do you want to be in the picture?
He's like, you want to be in the picture? Yeah.
And then eventually he was just like, I'm in the picture? Like,
honestly, that's really confusing. If I was in his shoes, I'd be like, just fucking tell me what you want. Stop sending me mixed signals.
I mean, he figured it out pretty quick, but like, it was really funny.
No, dude, I believe Jake had to tell him specifically when we were at the burger shop.
Yeah.
He was talking about this, and we watched it. I filmed a little bit of it in the Catch and Flow vlog that I still haven't yet edited, but I saw him do that, and I was like, oh shit, is this happening right now? I'm like, oh shit, because it happened catch and flow at the end. Kaito won. Everyone's like kind of like dispersing, leaving the venue, and then they're like, all right, all the companies are like grabbing their teams, taking pictures up on stage and shit. And that's when like Tio's like, yo, where's Aventus? Where's Aventus? I was like, why do you want him? And then that went down. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So funny. Such a Jake Weens move. I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you want me to take the picture? Okay, yeah. Like, no, you're in it. Get in it. You're on the team.
Oh man,
that's awesome.
Good shit.
Sweet. So I've heard, talk about Jake Weens, GT. I've heard, a little, what's the phrase? Heard it through the grapevine that Nic Stodd has some sort of background with ice cream, and you, Haley?
Yeah, I can clarify that little rumor. So I'm from Bend, Oregon, and Nic Stodd was living, or he's like from there-ish. I think he has like two, I don't know, ask him. But he lived in Bend. Right. I lived in Bend. And this was like after I was on Kendama USA and stuff. It was probably like maybe 2014-ish, 2015 maybe. Yeah. So growing up, my dad had a shave ice business, and it was like, we just go to all the events in Bend, like the summer events, and sell shave ice. So not necessarily ice cream, but like Hawaiian shave ice. And,
some kakigori.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Kakigori, the Japanese version of shaved ice.
What did you say to me?
Not crushed ice, okay. Shaved ice. Very different.
Yeah, it is very different, actually. But yeah, so we had that business, and that was my summer job since I was like 11 or 12. And, Nic Stodd happened to be at like one of the summer events that we were at, and he had a kendama and I had a kendama, and we were just like, I was just like outside of the thing playing kendama with him, and we hung out. And then somehow he like, my dad was like, oh, do you want to work for us? Like, we need extra help or whatever. And so so Nic Stodd started working with my dad at Shave Ice, and like, I wouldn't even be there sometimes, but they would just hang out and like play kendama together, and like, he would give Stodd kendama breaks, and like it was like a whole thing. But yeah, he did work for our like little family shave ice company for a while.
That's fucking awesome.
Which was funny. Yeah, and him and my dad became friends, and like now every time I'm at a kendama event, he's like, "Is Stodd there? Get a selfie with him. Like, send me a photo." Like, he just loves Stodd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you give him the picture of Stodd wearing your shirt and you wearing Stodd's jacket at AGKO? Or?
I didn't. That one, maybe at the right time, but I don't think you can just send that without context.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, for me, that's one of my favorite picture of you.
It's a really good photo. Yeah. No, it's great. It's just
the wardrobe swap.
I get it. Yeah, the whole dad thing.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
It takes time,
Yeah,
he'll come. Dad'll come around.
Yeah, there will be time and place where that photo comes up, and it'll be okay. But yeah, that was great. Oh, man. So yeah, the rumors are true.
Okay. Another thing I've seen, actually you posted as a story on Instagram, was it looked like a studio, and there was like someone was like explaining something. There was like a cup down there. It was like, what's in that cup? And it's like, is that like a bunch of nuggets of fucking weed right now that I'm seeing?
When was this?
On Haley Bishoff's feed?
Oh, was this like maybe a month or two ago?
I feel like it was a little longer. And then you're like, I think there was 2 videos, and they're like, yeah, that's my dad. And I was like, yo, is Haley Bischoff's dad growing weed?
Okay,
so I can a big old cup of weed.
I can clarify this rumor as well. So, my dad is like an electrical engineer for this cannabis lighting company in Oregon, and so he helps build grow rooms. That's like what he does. And so, I actually started doing some work for that company as well. I just like help do some of like their media stuff. I basically like go into grow rooms with our products, and like I'm like the girl who's like interviewing the growers, like blah, blah, blah. Like we just talk about whatever. And then I've done some like papers for them, like writing some like research papers to validate their products through like science and stuff. So it's kind of a side job that I do.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
the questions aren't just like, so how high does this weed get you?
Yeah, no, it's very like technical in terms of like, so the systems that they use are like vertical growing systems, and they're all just very like energy, resource efficient, et cetera, et cetera. So it's more about that versus like stoner talk, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a little side hustle that I have. But yeah, I do work in the weed industry a little bit. But, you know, to be honest, I don't really partake. Weed makes me feel anxious and weird. So I just stick to talking about it with growers, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stick to growing it.
Oh, yeah. That was funny, yeah, because that would surprise me so much when I saw that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
His
no.
dad's
It's
pretty
fun,
badass.
though. Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. I mean, he has a cool job, but yeah.
It's a good transition from shaved ice to
Grow
lighting
rooms.
weed rooms,
Yeah.
grow rooms, yeah.
It's like polar opposite, but it's funny. Yeah.
Awesome. Sick.
Yeah.
Well, so we've been grinding an hour. Now's the time to break out our questions from our fans, all the people who follow us
All right.
on Instagram and whatnot, as well as the Patreons. It's one of the perks. If you support Kentertainment, check out our Patreon page. You can ask us questions, and they will definitely be asked to our guests. So we have 2. And, this is a pretty good one. So both from Marcus Todd. He helped us out, gives us some good ones for Ben yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
So let's see. Oh, that one's going to be... That one's deep. Okay, here's a long one. It seems long, but I think it'll be easy to answer.
Okay.
So you have a lot of online interaction. Here's the question. You have a lot of online action with players online and end up meeting many of them at events later.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any fun stories about how your ideas or thoughts of these people from their online presence have changed when you met them in person?
Okay. That's a good question. I'm trying to think.
When you're like messaging, you're like, yeah, this person's so cool. They always leave me like heart emojis, like, yeah, heart back. Okay. And then you meet them, you're like, you're kind of weird.
You know,
kind of weird.
There's
I'm going to keep my distance.
There's no one specific. I would say that like a lot of people are more forward online, and then you meet them in person and they're just like, you know, they like shy away. But there's like, I don't know, it's kind of a lame answer, but like, no, there's been nobody that has been totally different in person.
Yeah.
Or I just am bad at noticing it. I don't know. But no, sorry, that's a lame answer. Sorry,
okay,
Marcus.
okay. Yeah. All right.
Nothing wrong with honesty.
Yeah. I'm not going to make something up, I guess.
But I agree with you how you're saying how most people are more quiet about approaching you and stuff. They're like, well, it's the same shit as like how mean so many people are with comments online. And it's like, yo, you'd never say that to my face. It's
exactly.
So aggravating. Why people suck so much? I still can't believe that type of shit.
So does the internet.
Like,
the internet
YouTube.
just sucks too.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
Like what? Like are they just like little kids that are just trying to like act tough, or
they are?
Yeah,
they are.
Right?
You nailed it on the head.
Yeah.
Just
So
little
fucking
shits, just trying to be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you grow up and realize that
man.
like being mean isn't cool, so it just takes time to like
Yeah.
Well,
have
some
that
people
sit in.
don't, but yeah.
True. True.
Yo, straight up.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the next one again from Mr. Todd.
Okay.
What does being a Kendama pro mean to you?
Oh, okay. I guess we kind of talked about it
Yeah, we
earlier,
kinda
but
did, yeah.
I would say, if anything, being a pro means that you like have this mutual respect for a company, right? Like they have respect for you and you have respect for them, and you do your best to, you know, promote that company that you believe in while they do the same to promote you. And more than anything, I think it's just like constantly trying to progress as a player and spreading Kendama. I think spreading Kendama is like the main thing. And just being like a good face in person to like do that. That's really it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good. Okay, so now I'm gonna go through. I also asked people on Instagram. I made a little story.
Okay.
Seeing some good ones. Max asks, "What happened to Clack? We went over that.
Life.
Life.
Let's see.
Adulthood, I guess. I don't know. Laziness. I don't know. It's a combination.
Okay, how has it changed being a kendama player, a girl kendama player from then to now? So in the past and then now.
Is that it? Is that the end? Okay. I thought you were gonna keep going. I would say, it's not much different other than the fact that there are more girls. And like, I don't know, back in the day it was maybe, there were a few girls that were like the best, but now it's like all these young girls are like the best. So I think if anything, like it's been like humbling in a way because like Yui and Yua come out of nowhere and just like,
oh man,
crush me, and that's fine. But yeah, I mean it's cool because there's more girls that play and there's more girls that are sponsored. That's really the only difference, and that the skill level has just gotten like insanely high. Which is cool. It's motivating for sure, So that's about it.
Okay, good one.
Mm-hmm.
Can she tell if climbing and knowing your body well from it helping with learning kendama?
That's worded weird, but
sometimes that happens,
Yeah, good old spell check will get you.
From climbing,
we get the point.
Does it help your body? Yeah. Understand movements of kendama better?
I would say, so I guess this question might go a little bit deeper. So I grew up my whole life doing gymnastics. I was a competitive gymnast from age like 4 to 20. So that was like kind of my whole life. And I think growing up with gymnastics, like you just like gain this body awareness that you don't have unless I mean like gymnastics specifically, but like other sports too, of course.
Oh, wow.
And so I think like transitioning from being a gymnast to like climbing, I think like the body awareness really transferred there. But like with kendama, it's on such a micro level of that like, yes, you do have body awareness and like you know how to manipulate your body like differently, but climbing is like a full body thing, and kendama is just like it's full body as well, but it's on like such a smaller scale. So I think that like ultimately, there has to be something subconscious that like crosses over, but it's very different. It's a different movement, Yeah.
I just think of like yesterday, Ben got asked like a question that's kind of similar about like tricking in kendama.
Yeah.
And the way he put it was that they're the same thing, except for one, you're hucking around a thing of flesh and hucking around a piece of wood. But it's the same mentality and shit. So it's like but they're different at the same time. So
totally.
like you're saying, they have that crossover, but it's obviously very different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what was your favorite? What would that be called? What's the term for it? Your type of within gym.
Like your event,
like just floor. Yeah.
Yeah. So in women's gymnastic, there's 4 events: vault, bars, beam, and floor. And then I competed in all of them. But I would say that my favorites were probably bars and floor. I don't really know why. They were just the most fun to me.
So bars is the one that you're swinging from one and you hop to the other bar, or is it the bars where you hold yourself up?
So the bar that you hold yourself up, that's a men's event.
Oh.
So the girls' bars are the
one.
uneven ones. They're the ones that are the 2 bars that are uneven, and then you just I guess like in simple terms, you just bop back and forth, but yeah.
I mean, there's there's obviously more to it than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Man,
but yeah,
I've
that's the
seen
one.
some people get fucked up doing that shit. Oh my god. It looks terrifying, but like when you get it, it looks like a lot of fun though too. Just fucking swing and like hop to the other bar and like standing on this bar all of a sudden you're just like
just keeping that momentum. The flow of it is so
That's
nice.
sick.
But there you go on the floor, so that's similar to almost Ben's tricking.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah
Different. I think like tricking is like, I don't know. I think to have a gymnastics background would be super helpful, just so you have the basis of like how to like manipulate your body in that way, or like the muscle memory of it and stuff. But that shit's insane. Like tricking is like crazy because you don't like run into things with like momentum like you do in gymnastics. I feel like it's more like standing and like I don't know. It just like requires different.
It's like less momentum and more like actual force kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah. It's impressive.
And you don't have to do that like you don't have to do that like pose at the end.
Yeah.
No, only if you're badass.
You don't say that, I guess, but
so you're saying like with the gymnastics, there's like the floor. thing,
Mhm.
right? So what's the difference between like the floor and tricking? Because in my mind, it's like obviously different style, but you're still like running, doing the somersault to like triple backflip or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like the ta-da.
Yeah, right. Instead
I
of
guess
ta-da.
like to sum up like gymnastics floor, like if you're competing or something, it's usually 1.5 minutes is like your time given where you have a song and a routine. So like your
Okay.
routine is fully choreographed and it has to meet certain requirements for whatever level you're competing at. And then
Okay.
different skills have different points associated. So like I guess when you're a gymnast, like I don't really know exactly how tricking works, so I can't fully compare the two. But with gymnastics, it's like you just have this routine that's like on lock. You do the same thing every time, and like you try to perfect it as best as you can in 1.5 minutes, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Is there a spring in the floor?
There is. Yeah, the floor is really
right?
springy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
probably
I didn't know
something I
that.
don't think trickers have.
Yeah.
I usually just see them just on. Well, I guess it depends on where, but usually like on the ground, like on grass outside.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Hopefully not like concrete in a parking lot.
Yeah. No, the
Yeah, I
gymnastics
rarely see
equipment
that.
is like it's well suited to what you're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
When you're out on a parking lot, that's when it turns into like parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
guess
just
that.
like seems like
Yeah.
it hurts, man. Like, ugh,
Of course. Yeah,
it's
hell
impressive,
yeah.
but no, I'm trying to
Yeah.
like, break my ankles.
You
for
can't have
fun.
the word. You can't add the word core to something and have it not hurt. You know, the
Yeah.
possibility of it not hurting. Yeah.
So true.
That's
Okay.
funny.
Okay. 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 How do you feel about the gender wild card at the Kendama World Cup? Is
Oh.
it necessary?
I think it's cool. I think it's
Mhm.
like, I don't know if like necessary is the right word, but I think it's a cool idea. Like,
Mhm.
if there's not a girl that makes it to finals, at least there will be. You
Yeah.
know? Like, I think that's cool. I think it's just like if you're, I guess in terms of World Cup, like, there's not going to be a girls' division and probably shouldn't be at something like that scale, you
No.
know? Absolutely not. Especially like who's going to be coming out there. Like, the skill level and everything is like, it's good how it is. But
100%.
you know, but if you're looking at like the World Cup, right, if they're trying to represent as many types of people or countries as possible, like making sure a girl is in that finals, I think is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and on the opposite side of that too, like it's a gender wild card. It's not a girls wild card. So like if
True,
for whatever
yeah.
reason, like we already covered how there's a lot more guys than girls in the scene, so
Mhm.
it's
Yep.
not a very likely event. But if it came down to it where there was only girls that qualified and there was no not
Mhm.
as many guys that qualified, then another guy would get that card. It wouldn't be
True,
a girl, right?
true.
So
They keep it vague,
That's
I guess,
interesting.
which is, yeah,
yeah.
which is very unlikely, but I guess
It
you
is
never
like
know.
I said, yeah, it's unlikely, but that
Yeah.
is like the that's what it's there for, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And no,
And
I think it's
I think
great.
they still have that certain rule of like you need this many points to
Yeah,
get that
100%.
wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
after
is
that
the
poor
fair
skill
too.
level
Italian
is
guy.
matched.
After
Yeah.
that poor Italian guy, man, that first year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because, that would fucking suck. Like, let's say,
Yeah.
like, I was the top girl, but I got, like, 20
Oh, man.
points or something. I'm going to go up there and just shit my pants. Like, I'm going to hate it. I'm going to hate every
Yeah,
second of that.
yeah.
Like,
That's-
yeah, no, you have to be,
Ah.
like, ready, I think.
Uh-huh. or at least have the skill set to be able to throw a few of those tricks down and like be
For
confident
sure.
on a stage.
At least
right?
get
Like,
a point. At least get something. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
something.
yeah. Dude, I feel for
Yeah.
it though. I mean, this sounds bad, but like, I would not want to be in finals. Like, I don't like that much attention or pressure. Like,
Yeah,
even
fair
doing
enough.
the demos at events. Mm-mm.
Man, yeah.
Every
not
time
for
I
you.
for
hate
me,
it.
I've only ever made the finals at KWC once, and
Mhm.
I got the Canadian wild card. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
bud. So for me, I thought the finals was a lot more fun than
Yeah.
the preliminary rounds because the preliminary rounds is so rigid. Where like it's still rigid, like you
Mhm.
have to hit those tricks, but the preliminary rounds is like you already have them chosen. It's like these 4
Mhm.
now, and if you
Yeah.
don't get them, you're done. Like get the fuck out of here. You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Whereas like it's more of like a freestyle, but like with the
Mm.
bag of like the bag of tricks is already predetermined, but you get to freestyle with that bag of tricks.
But I feel like
Yes,
that
yes, yes.
totally suits your style. Like, I
Yeah,
think,
there's
like, I could
that.
see you having so much fun doing that, but I go on stage to demo and I was airplane 5 times and I'm like, fuck this. Like, this
Yeah.
sucks, you know?
Oh, man, yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah.
I don't do good under pressure like that.
I've been there as well. That shit sucks. It's
Yeah.
never fun.
But no, I
But-
could
Yeah.
I could see why you would have way more fun on stage at
Mhm.
finals for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a little nerve wracking, but
Yeah, absolutely.
that's kind of
Yeah.
what like makes it feel good when you get off the stage. You're like, "Fuck, I just did that. That's sick."
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
probably like the same thing as like if, you know, like you could go rock climb in a gym and climb this fucking wall 50 times, or you could climb one giant rock face and get to the top and be like, I just conquered this fucking rock face. Like, that's way sicker.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
That's tight.
All right. Okay. One last good one.
Okay.
Here it is. When is the next Girls Collective edit coming out?
Ooh. That's a question maybe for Kristen. So, man, not to like throw her under the bus at all. That's not the point here. But so we like submitted a bunch of clips a long time ago, and I don't think she ever edited it. Maybe she did. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. But yeah, we did do like girls collective edits where everyone just submitted a clip and then she would put it together. It's been a really long time, but that should totally happen.
Yeah, 100%.
But the thing is, like, I would totally take the initiative and be like, I'll edit it, but like, I just...
Yeah, we talked about this.
Just
yeah.
bad at that. So, hey, if there's any girls out there that are listening and want to edit a girls collective edit, hit me up. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Hey.
Or Kristen, if she's free. I know she's been like so busy with school and life and everything, so like I 100% get it. But yeah, I don't even know. I should actually ask her if she ever did that.
Is that something that you're kind of wanting as well, to have it that much all girls, that you want a woman editing it too?
Oh, not necessarily, but like, I mean, I think it's kind of cool if it's like a girls collaborative project. I think that's tight.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I mean, it kind of solidifies the whole theme, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So like, even like at the first girls events in Tokyo, we did like girl MC, girl DJ, girl judges, you know, so it was like run by women. But I mean, no, it's not a criteria. It's not like if a guy was like, let me help you, it would be like, fuck no, it's not like that. It's like, sure, actually, yeah, take this and edit it because I'm not going to. Yeah. But yeah, either way, whatever.
Nice. There you go. But I think, you know, you're still having some girls put out edits by doing the competition, the video contest.
For sure. Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch those.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's been some girls like winning shit too recent. Like at the Dama event, like Nonoka won the biggest cash prize that was ever offered in Kendama.
What was it?
It was like $20,000.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it was all Dama.
Okay,
yeah. And the like whole
Kozarov.
thing with it was it was 20. Yeah, Kozarov was there as well. Yeah, but the whole thing with the prize money was that it's meant to be sponsor money. So you have to use it for like your Kendama. You can't just get like the money and go buy yourself a car or whatever. Like,
sure,
you have to like use it and like go like whether it's to send yourself to an event or. I don't really know like the very detail. I didn't win, so I didn't get to all the little details. But
yeah.
That's awesome, though. I think that's a really cool idea, actually. Yeah.
I'm a little choked at Nonoka because that was like a month or two before an AGKO, and I was like, sorry, it was before Van Jam. And so I was bugging her. I was like, you just got 20 grand, man. Like, come to Van Jam. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come hang out. You know, like Misu's coming. Like, you have a homie. Like,
right.
Come hang out in Vancouver. And she didn't come. And I was like, fuck. Like, I know it's not a money thing. I know that's not the case.
Yeah.
Unless they just didn't give it to her in time or something. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is. But
yeah.
I just wanted to see her in Van. That's all.
For sure. Yeah. She's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
I guess like
those are all the questions we got.
Yeah,
okay.
I have another question. I was gonna say on that note, is there any like, I guess I want to say like lesser known like girls that are like out here just shredding that like are on your radar, Haley, that like maybe people don't know of that we should check out?
Trying to think. I really feel like a lot of the girls that I know are like on a team or people know of them, but maybe we'll see some come out when we do the video contest.
Hell yeah,
that's kind of what it's for too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no one like comes to mind when I think of that, but there probably is somewhere. There's got to be.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Even just like we're talking about the little kids in Japan, like there's some really, really young girls that are like really young that aren't really that good yet because they're like 7 years old or 8 years old, but like they play every day and they post a trick every day and shit like that, and they're so like in a year or two, like this is where like Misu was like how long ago, like at first World Cup was when all of us met her for the first time, right? And then like now look at her, like, and it's the same kind of thing. So I'm really stoked to see these little girls as they grow up and like get like their skills honed and see if they stick with it and just take over.
Yeah, I just think I
That
just
is
like
if the Atami girls let them, I guess.
yeah. I know. I think about like Yui and stuff, right? Who's posted a chick every day for what? How many days? Like
1,000 plus now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I think the thing too is like I compare it to like, okay, I did gymnastics every day of my whole life for like 3 to 4 hours every day after school. It was like a basically a part-time, full-time job, you know? And it's like if I was, you know, it's our places are kind of swapped because they're playing kendama every day after they get home from school for hours. And that's why they're so insanely good. You know, it's like that's their thing. And so like when you're that age, it's like you find something that you want to hone in on. Totally.
Utami,
Yeah.
I was going to say too,
definitely
like
makes a difference.
A thing with that, like when, like for Yui's example, like posting for 1,000 days straight, like she doesn't work the phone. She's not filming. Like her mom is filming her and like cutting that clip and like doing the little edits of her going like, yeah, Krom Kendama, blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, and like letting the dogs run in and all that shit. Like that's a lot of work too. Like that the parents take on them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parents that have been like doing that and shit. That's fucking sick. So shout out to the moms and dads.
Yeah.
That's good.
Shout out to moms and dads. And Yui and Yua are the best company ambassadors that you could ever have. Like,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. They're great.
So sick.
Yeah. Cutest.
So funny, man.
Yeah.
We've been on the grind.
Nice.
We're getting to that hour 20-minute mark. That's sick.
We are.
Yeah, I'm up for whatever. You guys just let me know. If you don't have questions, it's cool. If you do, it's also cool.
Right? Well, what was your first kendama? What were you always using? The tributes? Or were you
my first one
using
was
kendama USA's at the beginning?
Eventually, yeah. My first one was a Sky Blue Azora. And then
same as mine.
Let's go.
The blues, yeah.
And then my second one was a tribute single stripe that was like the red and the blue stripe in the middle. I learned a lunar on that thing. And then I had a hot pink sunrise. Those were like my first 3.
Oh, the hot pink one? Those ones were sick.
Yeah, I still have them somewhere. They're probably back in
like the UV one, right?
The one that hurts your eyes, yeah.
It's like the one's like really bright.
A highlighter, yeah.
Like hot pink.
Yeah,
like
I had the orange one.
Nice.
And the green performer.
Oh, yeah.
I never had the pink one. I always wanted the pink one. I never got one.
Yeah, the pink one was sick. But yeah, kids have it easy these days, like learning to lunar on like all these big cups and perfectly honed damas, and we're out here like on tributes, like slippery paint. Like it's rough.
That is rough.
Yeah, it's just the caveman styles that the times that we had to go through.
Yeah.
It's like, think about like caveman's coming out and they're like, yo, you can fucking start a fire in milliseconds with that little shit in your hand right now.
That's why
like cheaters.
Yeah. It feels like cheating, right? But it's just innovation. It's just like being smart.
It was at first. Everybody called it cheating, right? Like everybody used to shit on Sour Mash's paint because it's too sticky, or like fucking what kendama's like we're too like the cup is so big it's fucking whatever, you know, like.
Yeah.
So
what is it?
It's funny.
Slay lunars?
The Slay lunar shit. Yeah.
When
I
people
still
are
don't
like,
know if I like
they
that
just got
shit,
rid of the small cup, but now
Mhm.
all these new kendamas, where's the small cup?
Dude, yeah, like I've been turning like the small cup on my kendamas has been like bigger than the old big cups. For
oh my
a while.
Gosh. Yeah.
Right?
You know, like,
but like
and it's
that's
still
where
a
we're
small
at.
cup.
Growing.
Like it's still not as big as the big cup. It's like and some companies make bigger cups than I do, so it's kind of like wow.
Oh man, like huge.
Dude, there is a point where it's like, okay, just stop. You know, there's a point where it's like you've gone too far.
It's
but
like when is cereal kendama gonna come with a box of cereal? You can eat it out of the big cup, you know, like
or like some of these bevels, man, they're like it's like an inch wide. And it's
Dude,
like what?
Yeah. And I mean, the only like counter to that is that like KWC implemented new rules, you know, with bevel size and shit like that. So,
yeah, it's probably smart.
I guess that's good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there'd be that fucking half the Tama missing because it's all a fucking bevel.
Massive hole, yeah.
I yanked it 4 times in a row. It's like, yeah, I bet you did.
Because you literally can't miss. It's impossible to miss that hole.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a little fun little reminiscing story time that
okay.
So here's a fun little fact that what year was it? I think it was 2015 or 16. Haley and I were both in Japan, and we had a squad. It was me, Haley, Eric Martin, Yuka, the homie Kengo, and Keith.
Yeah.
And we all climbed fucking Mt.Fuji. We conquered that shit.
Yeah, that was so fun.
That was a good fucking time.
Really was.
Did you guys not freeze?
Oh, it was cold.
That was the funny thing, is that it was like not that cold on the way up. We were fucking like, this is easy. Like, I wore toe shoes the whole time, you know, like shorts. Like, we're just fucking running by people. Like, yeah. And Eric fucking brought a sleeping bag on his backpack. Yeah. And I was just giving him the gears the whole time, being like, oh, buddy, good thing you brought that thing. You know, we're really freezing over here. I'm so sweaty. I'm freezing.
No,
you know, like,
shit.
Just giving him shit for it. And then we get to the top, and my God, I was a fucking ice
Every
block.
one of us was huddled under that sleeping bag.
Yeah, we were under, all of us are under that sleeping bag. Be like, I'm sorry, Rick. I'm sorry, man.
Thanks for bringing the sleeping bag.
It was
you
so
were right, buddy.
fucking cold. That was so fun, though. So, like, yeah, it was our crew. And earlier that year, I was like, man, it'd be so cool to, like, climb Mount Fuji. That would just be a sweet experience. And I don't even know how it all, like, came together, but it did. And it's fun because how you do it is, like, you hike up. If you can do it this way. You like hike up however many hours to get to like a cabin. And then you sleep in the cabin, you wake up at 1 a.m. and you hike to the top for the sunrise. And man, it was crazy because I've never seen like that many people on a mountain or like in some sort of outdoor. It felt like freaking Disneyland or something.
It really did, man. It was like I still to this day say that was the longest line I've ever seen in Japan, and I still like you know how Japanese people love to get in lines. Like,
that new tapioca place that opened up in Harajuku. I don't know,
they probably got a line all the way to Shinjuku for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that was so fun though, man. If you're ever like at KWC, I think the best thing you can do if you're in Japan and like get over there or you're there for the first time is stay a week after, because
at least a week
because KWC is fun, but it's so scheduled, and like every single day you have something to do, and like you get to experience Japan, but like you kind of don't at the same time. And so I feel like it's really smart to just like, if you're over there, stay over there and like have a small crew and go do something that you want to do that's like not in the KWC schedule or catch and flow or whatever.
Totally.
Yeah. Best
see the world
advice,
a little bit.
I think. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And no one's saying you got to put the kendama down, but I mean, you can.
Yeah, you absolutely can. There's no obligation.
I mean, we had damas that all the way up Fuji, like up Fuji. We were like running into people and like teaching kendama the whole way. Like, I actually like we have footage of it. Like, it's in that edit that I made that one time that from that year. There was like the Terra edit, like Terra in Japan, and then I made like the B-roll version of the edit, which was like a bunch longer, and I had a whole bunch of Mount Fuji footage and stuff in there.
Yeah, Keith
so if you nerds are listening, you want to check it out, go check it out.
Yeah,
I think it's on the Terra Insta or the Terra YouTube, maybe, and maybe my YouTube. I'll check it out. I'll post a link on Damanerds, but
for sure. Yeah, post the one that Keith and I made too. I think it was like Keith and Haley Japan Adventures or something like that.
Dude, you guys made one too. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was good. A lot of Fuji stuff in there.
Yeah, dude, that was good shit.
So was it good weather when you guys got up to the top?
Yeah, minus the freezing. Windy. Yeah, it was windy and cold.
Okay.
But like
clear.
Well, you could see the sunrise and everything. It was freaking beautiful. Yeah.
I got a really good time lapse of the sun coming up through the clouds and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite part was going down though. Because, like, walking up, you're just going up. But on the way down, it was, like, this pathway, and it's just, like, cutbacks, like, down the mountain kind of thing. And it was all kind of, like, very gravelly.
Yeah, we were kind of just, like, running and, like, skiing on gravel.
Yeah, you kind of just, like, you, like, take this, like, huge step, and you just step into gravel and, like, slide a few feet, and then take this huge step. Yeah. So you're not really, like, fast running, but you're, like, covering a lot of ground because you're going down, like, steep and shit. It's really fun. You're just, like, whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick. I want to bring, like, a snowboard and, like, snowboard down the gravel. That'd be so fun.
Oh, man.
I might get fucking... But I might get
normal
dead.
Board,
but...
Yeah.
I climbed that shit back... I think that was the second time I came to Japan.
Oh, you did? Good. I was going to ask you if you had.
Yeah. With a bunch of people. And we went up. We went with, like, a group. Like, a tour kind of group. So... There was a guide that had, I forgot how many people. There was a bunch of old, like, Ji-chan, Ba-chan, like, old people with us in the group and stuff. And I remember being so unprepared for how cold the top was going to be.
Yeah, it's freezing.
And luckily, it's so fucking cold. And luckily, my friend had an extra sweater that he lent me.
Nice.
But we did the whole thing, stop at the cabin. around, what was it, like midnight, and you sleep for like 2 hours. And in that cabin, you're like sardined head to toe with people like right next to you. You don't even know who they are. Like,
yeah, just in sleeping bags.
And it's like bunk bed style.
Yeah, except it's like a massive bed, right? Like a tray, like you're saying, a sardine can kind of bed.
Yeah, fucking huge though. Yeah, and 2 layers. It's
gosh.
ridiculous. If anyone goes, it's really an experience.
Yeah,
there's that.
Totally worth it.
Like the toilets were horrible. When I went, there were just massive holes in the ground.
Nice.
I know that they've changed them since.
Yeah.
And you have to pay
toilets
for them now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was not happy about it. I was like, you want me to pay to piss? Like, fuck you,
Dude,
man.
you know what I did? So I had completely run out of money at this point. I was borrowing money from Keith because I just like brought a certain amount to Japan and just didn't have enough. And but what I did, I was like, I don't actually have like money to like use the bathroom. So my exchange was just picking up garbage that people just freaking left all over the mountain and like bringing it down with me instead of paying for the bathroom. So I was like, there's something in exchange. But
nice.
There you
legit.
go. There you go.
That's super legit.
Yeah,
the thing that was the craziest, I don't know if it was like this when you went up there, MJ, but there was vending machines at the top. Do you remember this, Rob?
Yeah, they were there.
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the most surreal shit, like...
Yeah, I remember paying like 900 yen for a fucking cup noodle, because you're at the top of fucking Mt. Fuji, it's like, what else are you gonna get? And it was like, yo, give me that hot soup, I don't take my wallet, please give me that hot soup, like... you know?
Yeah, there's a post office at the top.
What?
So people can send out. There's a post office up at the top, and people go and you send a letter from there.
That's a cool concept, but that is so weird. Like, that is not something you see.
So there's some motherfucker whose job it is to fucking carry packages and shit down Mt. Fuji and up
and
Mt.
down.
Fuji.
Yeah. Dude, and they bring
hilarious.
up hot noodles and shit and soups for you guys to buy for $8.
Fuck.
Man, imagine the person that carried those vending machines to the top.
Yeah, they got to have some sort of like,
that sucks.
like quad racer that pulls it up there,
throwing it on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't full when he carried it up there.
Oh god, there's no way. Yeah.
Stock it now. We'll save a trip. Let's go. Come on, bud.
Yeah. there's also the shrine up there that monks like walk up like every day.
Yeah.
So there's monks that go up every day just for like to keep the shrine going.
Man.
Also in the news, because more people have been going to Fuji and leaving trash.
Yeah.
Thanks for cleaning up, Haley. There's been so much of that it's become news in Japan.
Oh my god.
And they're like, we don't know if we can continue this because there's just so much almost like pollution. We're just destroying it.
Yeah.
So they're making it maybe more of a pain in the ass. You got to pay more to do it. I think it's like $200 if you join a tour group to climb up now.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are like, what? Can't I just like come and just climb the fucking mountain? We're in nature, right?
Yeah. I mean,
man.
If you don't go on the paths, I feel like it would be really sketchy, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
sure.
it would. It totally would.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave
and
no
so,
trace, motherfuckers.
So yeah, no
stuff.
trace.
Right?
There's been not articles, like on news, like certain sections of the news that I've seen that are like talking about foreigners that come and expect to climb this mountain super easy with just like a rain jacket, like a poncho, like and Teva sandals on. I'm like, I can fucking do this shit. And all of them huddled in the bathrooms, like filled. The bathroom is filled with like Westerners, Europeans and shit. And they're all just like, yo, you can't come in to use the bathroom. People are like, I'm gonna use the bathroom. Where there's guards that have to go in and be like, everyone get the fuck out. Like, get out. And like they're like fucking refugees. It's insane.
Like, but it's cold.
Because it's cold as shit.
Well, if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
That's how you're gonna survive it. Yeah, but it's such an interesting story for everyone, you know, who doesn't know about it. Fuji is Fuji. It's cool, but it's intense.
Yeah, you gotta respect it too, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a like touristy thing, and it's like Japan, so shit's like safe and whatever, but it's still a fucking mountain. It's the biggest mountain in Japan. Like,
it will win. Yeah,
it will win. Yeah. It will be there longer than you.
Yeah, for sure.
Despite your best efforts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to bring that up because that was just a good time. I don't think we
Yeah,
talked
that
about
was
it
a
for
good
a
one.
long time.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember talking with Yuka about them being like, that was the best and like the worst one, memory that I have.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was stoked that Yuka came. I couldn't believe she made it all the way because that's not like really a Yuka thing to do.
No.
Go climb a
Right.
mountain, and she was like, "Yeah, let's go." She had the full gear, like she had the fucking boots, the gaiters, the oxygen tank, the walking stick.
Oh man, yeah. You got the stick? Yeah, you guys.
I didn't get.
She got the stick.
I found a stick. Actually, I found my own stick.
Yeah.
And I brought a Canadian
awesome.
beer and shoved a beer bottle on top of it as my fucking staff. That was.
It's so fun. Yeah, I definitely recommend anyone to go. Just like pick up your trash. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be a fucking ass.
But go enjoy the sunrise because it's tight. Yeah.
Yeah. And bring a big sweater or jacket, even though it's so fucking hot.
Or
bring bottom.
Bring a homie who's willing to bring a sleeping bag that you shit on the whole way up, and he'll let you share it. That works too.
That's a good friend right there.
That works too.
That is a good friend.
Eric could have easily just had the whole thing to himself and just been like, "No."
Yeah, he could have just fucking looked at us and just zipped that thing up and like, "Fuck you, buddy."
Oh man, so good.
Yeah. Good times.
So good.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's a good, time to end this talk. We've been jamming for an hour and 40 minutes. It's a good one.
It
man.
It's been fun.
Hells yeah.
Haley, thank you so much for taking the time
Sure.
joining the Dama Nerds.
Yeah.
Good to have the nerd out.
Yeah, thanks for thinking of me.
Yeah. Of course.
Hells yeah.
Everyone who is listening, thank you again so much. Let everyone, all your other Dama friends who want to learn a little bit about Kendama, who maybe want to learn a little bit about Haley Bishoff. Bish. Oh, but I forgot to bring that up. The first time we met, everyone on the Kuza team was calling you Bish. Yeah, Bish. I was like, man, I know like sometimes people like call each other like, girls were like, yo, bitch, my bitch. Like, are they calling her bitch?
Yeah, a lot of people double take. They're like, did they just call you that? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my name.
Yeah, I did. What?
So, yeah, if you want to learn about Bish, you got someone that wants to know a bit about her backstory, let them know. Dama Nerds brings, we drop some good knowledge.
Hell yeah.
So, we don't just drop Damas, we drop knowledge.
Dropping them pearls of wisdom.
Oh, yeah. So,
come pick them up, nerds.
If you want to support us even more, we have a Patreon page connected with the Kendertainment. You're supporting the nerds and, helping me and Rod out who are gathering the shit, and Rod editing it. And new little treat, if you are supporting monthly, then these episodes that we do, we're recording and you get a little video. You can watch us. You can watch these mugs talk about Kendama and whatnot. See what kind of a fashion statement we have each time.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm wearing my Zawa shirt for the occasion.
Yeah, that Zawa shirt. Oh,
nice. Man. I'm wearing the first sweater I found when I woke up.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's practical.
It's pretty nice and warm,
Exactly.
Function over fashion.
That's
yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, again, much love, Haley, for coming out, nerding out.
Yes.
For sure.
Always good to have a good little nerd sesh, MJ. And I guess
as
until
always,
next time, the nerds are
out.
Bish out. Later.